Good evening, everybody. Hope you all were expecting me. I promised I would come in at 6 o'clock, and I hope you all don't mind joining me for a little while. I'm Yolanda Hinton, and I host FYI radio show in the morning and FYI after dark. We come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. For our morning show. We're on platforms Peace 95.3 a.m. FM. I'm sorry. We're on WGPL 1350 a.m. WPCE 1400 a.m. Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook Live. So we're on all those platforms, soon to be on Instagram, and then soon to add another FM station. We're also on cbc.com, where you can hear us on the World Wide Web, and you can check us out basically anywhere you can find us. And I'm by me saying us, I mean myself as host, and then there's a co-host. We're expecting him in a little while, Edward Everett, aka Mr. E, and we've been on 7 years with FYI Radio Show. Too excited about it. For your information, we motivate and inspire, and we just cheerlead everybody to rise above mere survival and find success. And that's what we do when we come on. We bring great guests, great topics. We have a good time chatting. We're building our audience and our followers, and we're having a good time doing it. We also have our friends and we have our interns that help us to make sure we bring great guests, and we just have a wonderful, wonderful time. We will share a little bit more about the show, the morning show, when Mr. E comes on, because I want him to invite you all to be special guest sponsors or intern with FYI Morning Show. But this show right here, FYI After Dark, we're doing the same thing, motivate, but we're hoping to dig a little deeper in some great topics, things that are going on, breaking news, various things that is happening in your life. Anything you can think of that we need to discuss will be here after dark. Some things we can share on the morning show, but like I said, on FYI After Dark, we can go a little bit deeper. So I'm hoping that you all will join me. Let's see if there's anybody on the line. I'm going to look at my feed here and see if we're on our platforms. Here I am. Yes, I am. And hopefully you all can hear me. But anyway, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to share information with you all. Before we go any further about FYI, I wanted to make an announcement real quick about Crystal Community Development Corporation. That's the organization that I founded, and we have a young women's mentoring program, and we're recruiting girls 10 to 17 years old. Our site is in Chesapeake, Virginia, and we're having a special speaker on tomorrow. Now, we had our open house the other day for Crystal Community's Young Women Achieving Success program. All right, let's bring Mr. E in here. And there he is. Can you hear me, Mr. E? I can't hear you, though. I can't hear you. You're going to have to.
Good afternoon. How are you this afternoon?
Doing really good. And I'm in the middle of announcing a Young Women Achieving Success program, Crystal Community Development Corporation's mentoring program, which is in Chesapeake, Virginia, giving them information about girls 10 to 17 who can be a part of a free program. And we've already had our open house, but you are more than welcome to come by. Parents, grandparents, aunties that have young ladies that should be in this program, this mentoring program. And so I'm going to give you the number 757-287-6792, or you can inbox me and let me know that you are interested in your young ladies coming out, seeing what's going on. We have a speaker talking about self-esteem Wednesday evening, and she is none other than Fiona Huff. She is the self-esteem queen. She's coming out to share information on how you can be a well-rounded individual and how you can really, really feel good about who you are. I want to welcome, and I didn't welcome them at first, but I want to welcome our platforms: Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Just want to say good evening, hello, how you doing? I'm getting messages from folk on the feed for Facebook talking about the show here, and we just want to just greet you and just say thank you so much for coming on. Before I finish the announcement, I just want to welcome Edward Everett, aka Mr. E. How are you doing this evening?
I'm wonderful. I'm blessed and highly favored. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm just excited to be on After Dark with you, and you. So we want to invite our neighbors, our friends, our pals to join us right now on FYI Radio Show Live. Our email is FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. And thank you so much for joining us at FYI After Dark Show with Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and me.
Absolutely. Yeah, so good to see. I'm glad you're able to pop on and be with our audience, our friends, and just share some of the things that are going on. Mr. E, like I said, is co-host with me on our morning show on Peace 95.3. What other platforms, Mr. E?
95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WGPL 1350 AM, and WMVA 88.9 FM, and all over the world.
Yes. So glad to be on those platforms. So glad to be able to reach so many people and share. It's just a good feeling to be able to help motivate and inspire folk to rise above mere survival and find success, which is success is something that we all can achieve. It's not just for one person, that person, or the famous person you see on TV. Success is something that God gives everybody, and you just have to seek it. You have to want it, and you have to work for it. And so we're glad to be here with you all. Again, I wanted to make sure you all get the announcement. Crystal Community Development Corporation, 501c3 nonprofit organization since 2004. The program is Young Women Achieving Success mentoring program. And the mission there is to develop young leaders. And so we're developing young ladies, and we're talking about self-esteem. We're talking about building them as a well-rounded individual. We're helping them to be leaders. And so it's a free program. We have some great facilitators. You all can come out on Wednesday evening. Just call 757-287-6792, and you can get information or inbox me and say, look, I need more information. I need to know who you all are. I need to know where it's going to be and how often you meet. I have questions. And so I recommend that you all reach out and talk with me and come on out and be a part of Crystal Community Development Corporation's vision and mission to develop our young ladies. Um,
That's
yeah, um, I also wanted to make sure I mention, and I have to mention it, our uh, my book, my new book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose. And we have to make sure I got to make sure I promote it and let you all know because there's so much happening in the schools. It actually bullying is everywhere. And so I am so glad that I have been given the task to reach out to those in the community, to parents, to schools, because we're seeing that bullying is no laughing matter. We're seeing that it is something that is just growing by leaps and bounds, Mr. E. And so the book is out in a timely manner. You can get it in Spanish and English. It's in hard copy, ebook, and also Audible. And
that's
so
right.
you can just go ahead to those platforms, or you can go to cristorecords.com, Cristo records.com, and there's a link you can just click on and you can go and you can buy the book. You can also go to the Audible platform and just Google my name, Yolanda Hinton. Bullying is right underneath your nose. Get the book, share it, uh, I'm going to definitely, Misty, go out into schools and in the community. We just had the anti-bullying rally, but there is a need for everybody. It's a call to action now to get together and start getting under this thing called bullying and get rid of it and eradicate it.
You know, Miss Hinton, they're often talking about getting rid of guns and fighting in school. But you're right. This book will help you to understand and to see that it's right underneath your nose. That this book will help you, Miss Hinton. It would help a lot of people to understand that there are several different types of bullying that could happen to your young people or to you. They don't understand that bullying is a disease, it's a drug, and it's dangerous. It causes mental illness. It causes folks to want to commit suicide. It causes folks to shy away. It causes folks to run and hide. It causes folks to do a whole lot of things that they don't want to do because they have been terrified by someone who figured themselves to be bigger and badder than they are. You know, and it caused them to want to stay out of school, want to not want to go to school, and it's also caused them to, to go to the left, to go to the left. So Miss Hinton has one of the greatest books you ever want to read, and it's in both languages. It's in Spanish as well as English, and you ought to go and get a copy of it. Miss Hinton, the telephone number for them to get that bullying is right underneath your nose is 757-287-6792. Am I right?
That's right, but they can also go online. It's already online. You can go to Amazon. Yolanda Hinton, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose. You can go to the ebook, Barnes and Noble. You can go to Audible and get that book on Audible. If you want a hard copy, that is the number to call. Or you can inbox me and say, hey, I need that hard copy. I want an autograph copy, and I want to be able to share it with my kids, with my school, with my library, and just get the book out there. It is out at a timely manner, but that's not the only thing that's coming from Yolanda Hinton concerning bullying. We got other items, games, real games, Missy.
That's right.
We have activity books. We have a curriculum coming out, and we really, really need to hurry up and get them in the schools. You know, this is no laughing matter. It is an emergency. A 911. Bullying is in the extreme zone, over the extreme zone. And so We want you all to be able to get that book and share. I'm going to say hello to Kathleen Jenkins. How are you? Those that are on, make sure you comment so I can shout you out or Mr. E can shout you out. If you all are interested in actually being pulled in because we have a topic that we're going to discuss, you all can come in and share with us and give your opinion, or you can put it right there in the chat so we can see and respond to some of the things that you're saying and some of the things that you're thinking and feeling about what we're going to talk about at this time.
I just want to pause and rewind for 1 second, Miss Hinton, to let our listening audience know when you said libraries, I want to let them know that bullying, the book is right there in the Virginia Beach Library. Am I right?
Absolutely
That's
right.
right.
The English and Spanish version
In
right
English
there.
and Spanish book
Yes.
is right in the Virginia Beach Library. So if you want to go and read the book, go down to Virginia Beach Library and look and tell them that you want to check the book out and then pick up the telephone.
Absolutely. Or go to online and make sure you buy the book for your family members, for your kids. It talks about bullying, what it is, who bullies target.
That's right.
It talks about, how it is everywhere in schools. It's on the road, it's on the job, it's in the churches, you name it. Bullying is there. It talks about ways of remedying and exposing it. And all the things that we have, we're not only just going to address the bully, but we're going to address the bully and the victim and the bystander, because it plays bystanders play a role in festering and making it flourish. Some people don't know what to do, but there are
That's
some
right.
people that are definitely egging it on.
That's
And
right.
we have to definitely get to those people. And we got to get our community to come together and get something done about this thing called bullying.
That's right, Miss Hinton. We got to get our community to come together, and we got to get that community, and we got to do it real quick, real fast. We cannot wait another day. We cannot wait another second. All the information that FYI is bringing out to you, or Miss Yolanda, Lady Hinton, is given to you. It's not just to sit on the shelf. It's to help you to prevent this stuff from happening in your community, from happening in your school, from happening up and down the highways, on the jobs, in cyberspace. It's to help you prevent and give you some insight so that you can do something and to help somebody else from falling in the trap. It's not a joke. I want to let you know, bullying is not a joke. Oh, he's that way. No, nope, 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 nope. Throw that stuff away. Throw it out of the kitchen. Throw it out of the baby. Like they throw the water out the baby out the bathtub. Throw it away. Throw it away. Because one thing you got to remember, it is real. It is one of the realest things you ever want to see. You think that they was grown up like that. You think that they come from a family like that. The daddy like that. The mama like that. The sisters and the brothers are like that. So it is a family of them that comes to destroy and to tear you down.
Yes, I mean you can look at yeah, bullying is everywhere. They're in homes, they're in schools, you got the gangs, you got all kind of organizations that bully. Bullying is right underneath your nose. So you all don't forget the book Bullying is right underneath your nose. Don't forget the girls meeting on tomorrow, Crystal Community Development Corporation. Young women achieving success. Girls 10 to 17 years old can be a part of a free mentoring program. Please pass the word around. And don't forget, and we'll get that information to you later on about being a special guest, a sponsor, an intern with FYI Radio Show. You can be a guest on the morning show. You can be a guest on the After Dark show, and you can sponsor a spot. If you're a business and you are interested in buying ads and letting us profile your businesses, please get in touch with us. There's a number right down there, 714-7861. And also there is FY Radio Show Live at gmail.com. You can send information to. So, Mr. E, oh my goodness, there's so much going on. And, when I think about the topic of youth and children, usually you think about a lot of wonderful, carefree things, that's going on. Beautiful children. Children are lovely. They are sweet. They're kind. But we have found ourselves right here in Virginia a story about a 6-year-old child that has gotten himself in really, really big trouble and into a really, really dramatic situation with shooting a teacher. This happened at the Rich Neck Elementary School in Virginia, and people are just shaking their heads, wondering how in the world could that be? It sounds quite unreal,
That's right.
surreal, and it's something that you really are trying to grasp your head and your thinking, because you just wouldn't think, as little as a 6-year-old is, you wouldn't even think that they could have the capacity to go for something like that and commit a crime allegedly that would really take the world. It was on national news, CNN. I mean, and it's right here in our own backyard.
That's right, Miss Hinton. That is so true. It is so amazing to hear about a 6-year-old, a first grader, picking up a handgun, taking it to school, and really pulling the trigger. You know, it behooves me. It really behooves me to try to figure out what was on that child's mind, and what he know about guns, what he know about pulling the trigger, what he know about shooting somebody. The paper has blew this thing, and I really mean, I think that allegedly they blew it out of proportions, where they already figured that the child knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, that's being reported that and they did a press conference today, Mr. E, an update on what's happening. First of all, the teacher is doing better. She's
Good.
recovering.
Thank
And
God.
they said that she was shot in the hand, and she held up her hand to her chest, and it went through to her chest. And
Wow.
so, but in the meantime, they also talked about her being able to get those children out of the room. No one else was harmed. And there was a teacher or someone from the school that came in and got the gun from the young man. The story, you all can actually go and check it out on your local news station or the internet, and you can get details about the story. We're not going to give details. We're just going to give you some of the things that we've heard, but we also have questions to parents and administrators and schools about how they feel, how they think, and what can be done so we won't have an incident like this again. It's a sad thing. We've had so many incidences, Mr. E, of gun violence in the school, adults going in and harming children, adults going in, or young people, young adults going in and doing a number on so many. But our head is definitely reeling as well when we hear that a little teeny boy, and when
Yeah,
you're 6 years old, if you've seen 6 years old, they are not but so high.
that's
And
right.
it just is amazing that we are now facing gun violence with a child in the story, and it is just absolutely amazing. Um, they are saying, Mr. E, that they are bringing in mental health specialists to help kids cope. The school is closed right now. They're going to be able to talk to the children that were involved, but with mental health specialists along with them. They're not just going in and talking. And the police and school administration says they're going slow. They are not going to, just like you said, you're not going to rush to judgment, about anything because there's so many perspectives to look at it from. You've got to find out the teacher's perspective. You've got to find out what the child was thinking. You've got to find out what the kids felt. You got to find out from the parents. And as a matter of fact, Mr. E, did you know that that gun was registered legally that that child got his hands on?
That's right. And not only that, the gun was registered legally, and the gun the person who owns the gun was his mama.
His mom.
His mama was, but here's the kicker part, Miss Hinton, and one of the questions that they got on the table today, that they trying to figure out whether or not to charge the parent for the son's problem.
Well, the thing about it,
behavior.
They're saying right now that is too much looking into the future. Right now, there are steps to go to, and this is what was in the press conference. You've got to go step by step before you can accuse anybody of anything. And so I'm glad about that because you may have a parent who has a gun, and she rightfully so, according to the law. But the circumstances around how the child got it, where was it, how did the mother know or didn't know, or the parent, all those things in the press conference, they say has to be answered before anybody can start pointing the finger at mama or anybody or the teacher or what. Oh, did the child get bullied? Did she bully her? They don't know all the answers yet. But they do know they have a situation with a child, a teacher, the school, parents, and the whole world looking at it, wondering what the is this?
That's right. Miss Hinton, when I begin to look at the story and I begin to hear the story and it said that a young man, young boy, 6-year-old, has allocations with a teacher. Him and the teacher having
altercation. Yes, it was an altercation. They said yes.
With the teacher, him and the teacher having a problem. Well, here's the thing that I don't understand. If the young man and the teacher is having a problem, why wasn't the parent brought in? Why the teacher didn't call the parent before it escalated to this part? Why?
With a gun in her face? I mean, with a gun there?
Well, before. It had to stem before.
Well, they don't know that.
Allegedly, I'm saying that it had to stem. I'm saying this. I'm saying that I'm putting it in another perspective because something had it. That boy didn't just go and get the gun the day of. I'm trying to figure out, why does this boy and nobody know he's walking around with a gun in his backpack?
Well, those are questions that they are definitely trying to find out. And right now, the young man is in the hospital in getting mental health evaluation. They're trying to find those answers out. It's so many questions, so many things that they need to know. They don't know the mindset of the child yet until they investigate. They don't know where mom and them was until they investigate.
Right.
They don't know what the teacher was doing, thinking, or how she reacted until they investigate. So, like I said, right now we have a story that a 6-year-old child finds itself in the middle of, and they know that he bought it, and they said he intentionally, but the whys and the what and the where, we've got to figure that out. I do have some questions though. Go ahead.
I got some breaking news that was just sent over to me. It says a Virginia Beach school shooting, 6-year-old boy put a gun in the backpack at home, bought to class.
You said Virginia Beach?
This is in the Newport News. Put a gun in his backpack and bought a backpack at home and brought to class. A
Yes.
6-year-old boy took the handgun from his home, put it in his backpack, and brought it to school, to his Newport News, Virginia elementary school, where he allegedly shot and injured a teacher, according to police. Police have interviewed the 6-year-old and his mother in in the wake of Friday's shooting and determined the gun was legally purchased by the boy's mother. Newport News Police Sheriff Steve Drew said that the news conference Monday, the 6-year-old obtained the 9 millimeter Taurus pistol
Hmm.
at his home and brought it to Rich Neck School. Drew said, and brought it to the school. And the 6-year-old boy is accused of shooting the 25-year-old Abigail Zemo in first grade classroom in an international act, police said. So
Yeah.
so here is the thing that gets me. Good afternoon, Miss Roberta Carter. According to this, Miss Hinton, according to this, they said that the 6-year-old boy picked up the gun, put it in his backpack the day before, and brought it to school. What was on his mind at that time? Why he couldn't consult his mother at that time before he decided to take matters in his own hands? Was he that angry? Was he that mad? A 6-year-old boy that upset that he's got to premeditate and put a gun in his backpack and take it to school? What what
Absolutely. Yeah.
what's going on here? I don't understand this. Maybe you can help me to understand this. That he put the gun the day before he shot the teacher. He must know something was about to cap off, or must know something, or somebody must have did something wrong to that little boy.
Well, we have to see, and that's the thing. We can't speculate. We have to sit back and we got to get it in real time. Like I said, they had a press conference. They have the breaking news that you talked about. They're giving us some facts, but I feel, Mr. E, that they're going to have to dig deeper. They're going to
That's
have to
right.
dig deeper to answer all the questions that people have. Now, they're saying people are reacting in different ways. Some parents are just in an uproar. Some parents are just glad that their children are,
Or
uh,
say, yeah.
yes, but all parents are concerned about school safety and the incidences that are not just happening with this one, but with all the things that are going on in the schools. It's too much going on with gun violence. And we've got to find ways and remedies for people being able, whether it's a child or an adult, to come into schools and do a number on many. It so happened, they had a question at the press conference today, want to know, was he going to target any other person, any other child? And they were so glad that the teacher, even though she was wounded, that she was able to get those children out. And
That's
also,
right.
Mr. E, as you talk about some of the what happened, do you know that they do have footage of what happened? I think they said outside of the classroom door. There are some things that went on that they will share as well
It, it,
eventually.
is that with the child and the teacher? What they had outside the classroom?
I think that, yeah, I think maybe, oh, I do know one thing for sure, and that's seeing the children come out,
And see,
running out.
and that's
They have that footage.
And that's one of the blessing things in the world, just to make sure that the children are safe. I
Yes.
applaud that teacher because they said she turned around and make sure that the safety of those children was not in harm's way. I just don't want folks to add to the story. I just don't want folks to blow it out of proportion. I just want us to really let the folks go through the investigation, go through the steps that they need to take before you started making judgment, before folks start putting the story together. And she said, the teacher said, wanted to tell you all that she is in stable condition and she is thankful for the thoughts and the prayers. Drew said Monday. Zuma, what her name was, giving class instruction when the student pointed a gun at her and fired one round. Drew said, addition, that there were no physical struggle or a fight. Zawal took the defense position and raised her hand, and the bullet went through her hand and then into her chest, the chief of police said.
Yes,
After,
absolutely.
after was shot, she ushered all of the students out of the classroom, the chief said, adding that she was the last person to leave the classroom.
Yes, they had someone to come in and actually get the gun from the little boy.
Yes.
And let's see, go ahead,
And
Miss.
they called her a hero. They called the teacher a hero who saved lives, and said that she repeatedly asked how her students are doing. About 16 to 20 children were in the room, and none of them was physically injured, officials said. Injured in the shooting. There are videos from the hallway, Drew said, that how we know the children ran out of the classroom and across the hall.
Yes.
I mean, before they get into it, please, parents, please, grown folk, please, people, listen, let's take the steps. Let's listen to what the teacher has to say. Thank God he doesn't have a murder charge on him. Thank God that the teacher is not dead. Thank God that the teacher was enough. That the teacher was safe enough, not was just stable enough to turn around and still conscious to help get the rest of them children out of
Yes.
harm's way. Listen, let's let this thing play out. Let's listen to it before. We don't need no rioting at the school. We don't need no two talk to surface people talking against the teacher, or people talking about how teachers are, and well, the teachers shouldn't have never. We don't know. We only know what we are learning here, that the boy, the day before the shooting, had put the gun in a backpack. We don't know whether or not he talked to his mama. We don't know whether or not he told his mother anything. We won't dare. So let's just continue to let this play out and listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, at the press conference, the chief of police and the mayor and all of them, they are going to rewind. They said they're going to go back and they're going to see some of the things that led up to. And so, yeah, it's going to take time, step by step. They're going to try to find out what exactly happened, why it happened, and why the child reacted or did what he did on that day. And so, like I said, there are so many perspectives to look at. And so, like I said, we are looking at the parents. Some parents are really, really nervous. The schools are closed. School is closed right now. They want absolutely to know that it's okay for their children to go back into the schools.
Yeah, yeah,
Teachers
yeah.
are nervous. Uh, Kids, some of them may be traumatized. Parents, all they said that parents just wanted their child, don't keep my child, give me my child. Because, if something like this has happened, I can imagine that a parent wants to know how their children have reacted, and they want their children with them as soon as possible.
You
So,
can.
in my mind, I was wondering, how parents feel. Any parent that hears this story, any parents with children in school, what do they feel? I think people feel some kind of way, even if they were not at that school, Rich Neck Elementary
Yeah,
School.
yeah.
I can imagine Newport News. I can imagine them feeling some kind of way. How do teachers feel? Because can you imagine a teacher has to now watch their back because and their front everything, because now They could be threatened by a child,
That's right.
and sometimes you see one thing, then you see a copycat. Now it's in the mind of the teachers now that this, not only are we threatened by people from without and grown folk, but hey, we could be threatened from within.
That's right.
School
And
safety.
that's right.
School
And it could be a copycat out there. It could be somebody else that want to do the same thing. Teachers come to teach our children. They didn't come to fight. They didn't come to wear bulletproof vests. They didn't come to, they come to teach. How in the world can a teacher teach when she got to be concerned, Miss Hinton, about someone threatening her life, someone, a little baby, a little
safety.
child that's only been in this world for 6 years, a
That's right.
little child that's only been here for 6 years, and now her life is threatened. Miss Hinton, it really behooves me that here we are that got a little child, a little boy, 6 years old, in the first grade, learning his ABCs and his one, two, threes, and now he know more about pulling a 9 millimeter trigger on a gun. How did he know it was loaded? Did he not know that the gun had a round in it? How did he know? How did he know that that gun had a clip in it?
Absolutely.
You know,
These are questions that have to be answered.
if he had a squared that round, because a 9 millimeter, which 6 shots can go off, it's so sensitive because it only was shot one single round. It depends on how the setting was. Listen, before we get into this, before we really voice our opinion, let's look at the child. That's a child. That's just somebody's baby that's really in it, getting ready to go through the mill, getting ready to be, he's already separated from his mama. He's already in mental hospital, mental juvenile detention center. He's already there in the detention center, a 6-year old boy locked behind bars.
Absolutely. I want to know, those that are viewing and listening, tell me how you feel about the situation. Some people may not have sympathy for the child. Some people may go and kind of like think in terms of, there are some children that can have those violent tendencies. You're going to have a lot of different reactions. You're going to have some people who are gonna say, well, who did something to the child? Is it environment? Is it at home? Everybody has questions. Well, did it happen? Was he influenced by this one, or was he influenced by that? I heard somebody just recently say, was he influenced by games? The games with the guns and things. Was this child influenced by gangs? Or they want to know what this child was influenced by, because it's something, like I said, people cannot wrap their minds around. Also, gun laws. Every time there's an incident, we've got to talk about gun laws. I tell you, those people that were cutting up in the House and Congress and all that stuff, all that out there allegedly cutting up, you all don't have time to cut up, and with all this voting shenanigans and all this stuff, you need to be trying to figure out some of the problems, how you can figure out gun laws, how to make them
Get rid
better.
of them.
You can't get rid of guns, but
That's
you
right.
can develop some great gun laws that help us to in cases like this. Now we're dealing with a gun that was legally bought
That's right.
and a child got his hands on. And so what do you do with that? How do we figure out what to do about guns when it comes through a legal channel? It was a legal gun at home. How do we, take the rights of a mother to have a gun away, to say, well, your child may get to it, or what? There are
One of
so
the
many things and perspectives to look at. Also, what's What is under the hat? What is the thinking of the child? What is the mentality? Is the child all there? Does he have mental problems? Does he have problem of abuse? Does he have, was he just an innocent child and just thought that that was something to do? We got to dig deep and find out
You,
why. So
you,
I want to know how teachers are feeling, that are looking on, listening. How do the average person, how do you all feel about what's going on? Do you feel some kind of way as a parent? Do you want to, take and put your child in private school now, or homeschool them? Because schools are some places. Well, all places are vulnerable. Everywhere
that's
you
right.
go is vulnerable, and even the schools.
Miss Hinton, the more I look at the story, I found out that the 6-year-old suspect was taken to the hospital and evaluated, right?
Yes.
And temporary in detention, order obtained, and a child was currently receiving treatment. He's currently receiving treatment at a medical facility.
Yeah.
What I mean, in other words, you already done said this child needs some medicine. You already done put this child on some Zoloft or some medicine that will calm him down. You already put that boy, and make him out of us. Does he really need that type of medicine in him? Does they really need that? Does they really
Mhm.
need it?
But I really believe that mom is going to be very instrumental in knowing, she knows, and knowing, her child in the sense of, his behavior, his mentality. I think they, like I said, they're going to dig deep. They're going to absolutely have the evaluations and things like that to figure out what's the problem, why this happened, and what they can do about it. I pray, I'm thankful that the teacher is well. I'm sure she's going to have to deal with that. I can imagine, just like I said, different perspective. I can imagine, only imagine, uh, her feelings of trauma, as someone so young approaching and shooting you. That could have taken her life. And so, can you imagine her feelings, what she's thinking at this time, and what it's going to take to make her whole? In the meantime, you have a child who's going to have the same grace, and we're going to have to find out how to make him whole. Because guess what? He's still alive. He's on the planet. He's going to still, as a young child, have to be around people, and he's going to have to manage still. His mom still have to manage his life, still have to educate him, still have to teach him. It is This problem right here is so big, but we're hoping that, the questions can be answered. We're hoping that the child can be made whole. We're hoping that the teacher will survive the trauma. Because if she's a good teacher, we want her to stay in the school system. But I'm telling, will this be a fallout with other teachers? Will other teachers say, "Well, look, I don't want to teach children no more"? So I'm saying there's going to be a lot of questions, but there's going to also be a lot of healing that's going to be
That's
needed,
right.
a
That's
lot
right.
of help for the children that are involved, the schools, the community, and everybody else, the child, parents, and all.
Miss Hinton, as I begin to look at it, I feel some kind of way for the parents too. Because right now, folks are talking about the teacher, they're talking about the child. But what about the parents losing custody of her baby, of her
Who
child?
said she lost custody?
They said the parents of the 6-year-old who shot the teacher could
Could
lose custody
It could, but
while the
not
kid is placed in social service. Could lose
could. She
custody,
have not, but could.
but not yet. But that she could lose. Can you imagine a mother or a family member losing the custody of their baby?
Uh huh.
I mean, and now he's thrown in the hand. What kind of decisions can a little boy make when it comes to the great big judge, or when it comes to people really asking him, well, what did you do? Why did you do that? What was going on? And right then and there, his mind has not fully developed yet. He's only been in the planet for 6 years. Let the mama continue to talk to the child to get all the answers that one needs.
Well, they have mental health specialists that are with the child, and because he is a child, they are
Yeah,
there to find out the what and the whys. And so, everybody's looking, and like you said, kind of just trying to wrap their head around the story, but it's going to take time, and
yes,
it's going to definitely have to take healing, and people that are the pros, the experts that can go deep and make this a win for everybody who is concerned. Now, once this continues and people find answers, and find peace in the situation, we still have a job to do. We still have
right.
guns out here. We still need better gun laws. This thing is not over. We still, you know just this year, I mean 2022,
Wow.
it has been just a travesty of slaughter from this place, from this state, from this, group of people being murdered and killed. It just is so much to deal with. And so we have to find out ways to just try to solve some of the problems in society. We hope that our leaders would take time from a lot of
That's
foolishness,
right. That's right.
shenanigans, and lead and deal with some of the social issues and problems. Stop playing, and it's time for people to get serious about how we are, where we are, and what we do. I am so glad to be able to help develop young people and children, because that's where it starts. And this is a lesson for us to see that you can be young and you can go astray very
That's
young.
right. That's
You
right.
can not know what to do and have skills, and not only that, you may not even know how to solve a conflict. You may see something on TV, you may see a game, you may see something that points you in the wrong direction. And so that's why I'm so glad to be able to, teach kids how to be well rounded, teach them about choice, teach them about uh, anger, and the fact that your anger has to be managed. Not that you don't have anger, but that your anger has to be managed. Even as adults,
That's right.
we need to learn these things. We have to
That's right.
have skills in this life I don't care, even if you're 6 years old, we should be developing the skills in children and adults as well, to make better choices.
Miss Hinton, as I begin to look at different variations of this story, different people that's telling the story. The New York Post said that the first grade teacher in Virginia who was shot by the 6-year-old student was about to confiscate the gun when the
Mhm.
child pulled the trigger.
Yes, yes, yes.
He learned that the boy had a gun
Mhm,
and was trying to take it away from him.
mhm.
You
Yes,
know, when the child pulled the trigger. I
yes.
mean, come on now. She did what she could do to act to save others, and she ended up herself being shot. You
Yes,
know, she's called she's classified. They classify her as a hero. They
yes,
classify her as someone who took initiative and said, "Listen, I got too many children in here that I got to put my life on
yes,
the line for these children." You know,
absolutely.
and,
So,
and I just don't want folks to look at it cross-eyed. I don't want folks to look at it in a way that that they're making judgments of what's going on. Let's hear the story. Let's let it play out. Let's be helpful to one another. Let's let it all come to one surface and to one head so we can know what's going on.
Well, it's human nature to kind of like surmise and wonder and come up with conspiracy theories and, lean to our own understanding. That's just how we think in this life. And so people are going to think a lot of things. They're going to think it's going to be the teacher's fault. Some people are going to think it's the school's fault. Some think it's going to be the child's fault, the parents' fault, the
Yep,
bugs, the rats. Some people are going to think it's all, you're going to have so many different perspectives, like I said, wherein people are just going to come up with their own scenario until they find out the
that's right.
truth. And then
That's right.
sometimes people, when they find out the truth, still don't care. The incident in Sandy Hook, when all the children, when those children were slaughtered, don't you know you had a man and they just won the case against him who said that it was a lie that the kids got shot. He said it was a lie and it was a plot and a scheme and that it was some fake news that these children were slaughtered. So this is the thing. You're gonna have the truth come out, but there are gonna be people that will believe what they believe no matter what, and they don't care. That man has to pay out millions of dollars now because he still insists that this was some kind of scheme plot. He didn't care what the parents, how bad they were hurting, how traumatized they was. He was going to add fuel to the fire. He was going to put the salt in the wound and he was just going to keep rubbing and rubbing it in and knowing goodness well that this was an incident that really happened in Sandy Hook.
You
It's a
know, when you begin to look at the Sandy Hook shooting and you bring it to our attention, at that Sandy Hook shooting, there was 28 people that
Mhm.
got shot, that
Yes.
died at Sandy Hook, and two folks was injured. And it's just a mess. It was just a mess. And the order to release that was released to the public. It was just a mess that somebody would go into a school,
Mhm.
and tear
And
down the whole
slaughter.
wall and
Mhm.
kill these people for no reason. And just like the other
Yes.
day on the bus, football players on the bus. I mean, come on now. Does it have to take to that? Does it really have to take into some innocent person's life? If you can't handle the problem, go tell somebody. Stay
Mm.
home. Just like to tell everybody when you catch the flu or when you catch the virus, stay home. If
Yes.
it's that bad, if that bad, stay home. Seek some help. Let somebody help you.
Mhm.
Let
That's right.
somebody be a part of your life that will help you to rise. Listen, you'd be surprised of the life that you save may be your own.
And again, I want to say, parents and schools, let's start developing our young people. You can't just leave people to their own mind. The little kids, you've got to guard their hearts and their
Yeah,
minds. The Bible said you just can't let kids and little ones just go in there with their own understanding. They have to be taught. Train up a child in the way that it should go. Develop children, pay attention to what they need, how they're acting, and what's going on in their lives. You have to be able to get children young and you have to instill in them the right, because we are both good and evil and we can gear ourselves to either or. But if we develop good things, good intention, moral codes, if we develop great things in our youngins, our children, they will not depart from it. They'll
amen.
stay down the right road. They'll be well rounded, but we've got to get them young. And we've got to reach out to all our children. We've got to treat our children well. We've got to teach them to treat each other well. We've got to definitely be there to make sure they come up and they have a successful and prosperous life.
It's just like the scripture says, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are.
Mhm.
We
That's right.
are keepers to one another. If you see somebody's child going down the wrong way, have enough God that's on the inside of you that you will say, look, let me reach out and help you to get on the right road, to get on the right track. You know, back in the days of old, they used to take children underneath their wings. You listen,
Mhm.
take a child. Take a child underneath your wing. In lies them a gift that God has given unto them. And all they need is somebody to perfect it, somebody to look at them, say, you know, that they can trust and say, you can make it on broken pieces. All they need is somebody like Diana Ross, and they used to sing back in the days of old, reach out and touch somebody's hand to make this place a better place if you can. You
Absolutely.
know, all we have to do is take hold of what Diana, she said this, if you see an old man on the street, to
Mm,
help him and is down, remember his shoes can fit your feet. So
mhm.
we are our brother's keeper. We are need to reach out and take somebody by the hand and say, I just want to help you to rise above mere survival. I want to help you to move to the next level.
Yes,
I want to help you to get up.
absolutely. Again, I want to remind you all on Wednesday, parents, parents, guardians, grandparents, aunties, if you have nieces or grandchildren or just children that girls from 10 to 17 that need to be a part of the Young Women Achieving Success program. It's in Chesapeake, Virginia. We start on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. We have a special guest, Miss Fiona Huff, who is the self-esteem queen, who's going to talk to you about how you can build a better you, a better self, and how you can love yourself, and how you can become a well-rounded and productive individual. We know things happen to our children, but we have people that can love and care and support parents and helping to develop leadership in their children. So come out at 6 p.m. Please call me at 757-287-6792, or just inbox me right here and let me know that you're interested in your girls coming out to the program. So, Mr. E, can you definitely invite our viewers and those that will see us later on how they could be a special guest on our morning platform, FYI Radio Show Live, or our After Dark, where we're going to have a lot of great things going on here. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have great topics. We're going to go deep, deep, deep in discussions. You know, we may not agree on everything, but we're going to be able to pull people in, and we're going to also use our chat to communicate with those that are viewing us. But please just tell them how they can be a special guest, intern, or sponsor with FYI.
If you'd like to be a special guest, an intern, or sponsor of FYI Radio Show, all you have to do is call us at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us at FYI Radio Show. FYI Radio Show, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or Edward Everett's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or you can email us at FYI Radio Show Live at gmail.com. Let me do that again. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the most talked about radio show, either in the day or night, that comes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10, and on Monday night from 6 to 7, all you have to do is pick up the telephone and give us a call at 757-714-7861. Let us know you'd like to be a sponsor. Let us know that you'd like to be an intern. Let us know you'd like to be a special guest. Or you can inbox us at Miss Yolanda Facebook page, Edward Everett's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page. Or you can email us at FYI Radio Show Live at
Yes.
gmail.com.
No. Okay. Yes. So thank you all so much. You can still respond. You can still put it in the chat how you feel, what you think, and you can visit us on Wednesday. We have our FYI Radio Show Hump Day. We're
Hump Day!
Yes, what's
Yeah.
under the had
That's
issues
right. That's
concerning
right.
men.
That's right.
Join us there, or make sure you join us on Friday for our what's in your closet with our women and our serving that.
Find the secret.
Please.
Find the secret while they're sneaking stuff in the
Oh,
closet.
Mr. E, that's getting old now. That's getting old. You got
Men,
to find out some other
men,
things that
men,
people women are
look in the
doing.
closet. Look in the closet.
That's stale.
Well,
That's getting stale.
that's right. We,
Anyway,
that's
we
right.
can
We
definitely,
want you to join us. Yeah.
yes, definitely join us back here on Wednesday. Don't forget to join us at Young Women Achieving Success. Don't forget to, if you want to support, if you have a small business, if you want to, get us to put your business on Front Street, you all can definitely get information on how you can sponsor this program. So again, we want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sharing, and make sure you like and let people know that FY is here, who's hosting it, and why we do what we do. We are here to inspire and encourage and just motivate you all to rise above mere survival and find success. So thank you, Mr. E, for uh, joining us, and thank you, all you all, Kathleen, Roberta, all you all that are on. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and pleasant evening.
2 up, 2 down. VA. Bye now.